Hey guys, welcome back to the NFL Pick 6 Show, Week 6 edition. I'm your co-host, Nolan.
And I'm Taylor.
And what a great Week 5. A lot of ups, a lot of downs, but it was a pretty good one overall. What do you think?
It was awesome. I really enjoyed the afternoon games. I mean, I think we went clean sweep in the afternoon, which was really cool.
We did.
Yeah.
All right, so do you just want to get right into the picks?
Sure, we can dive right in.
All righty, you want me to go first?
Go first. Let's see it.
All right, so I like the 49ers minus 6.5 in Cleveland. The 49ers are on a roll, and I don't see them stopping soon. And I know Cleveland has a good defense, but I don't see Cleveland being able to stop the 49ers, especially with their struggles offensively. I don't know.
Well, I'm not scared about betting the 49ers. I mean, they're awesome every week. Only thing that concerns me about this game is Deshaun Watson is a maybe for the game now, so I don't really know what's wrong with him. He was out, then there was a bye, and then I thought, oh, he's coming back. Was it DTR?
Yeah.
I was excited because in the preseason, he blew my mind.
Oh, yeah.
He was horrible. So if Deshaun Watson is in this game, I don't know. It seems like a trap game to me. It makes me a little nervous. If DTR's in the game, probably they roll. So that's the only thing that's a little bit of a mystery to me.
Honestly, I didn't even think DTR played too bad. I think it was more of the receivers, because if you looked at, actually, it's not even the receivers, it was their O-line that struggled the most. If you looked at the game film, DTR scrambled every play, and he was throwing great passes to the receivers. They dropped a lot of them. I'm not going to blame that all on DTR at all, actually. But again, if DTR plays, he's going up against the 49ers defense, which is great. I know Cleveland has a good defense, but 49ers have the best offense in the league. So this is my favorite pick of the week, even with Deshaun Watson in.
Okay, awesome. Cleveland's coming off a bye.
Yeah.
And Niners are traveling. So, and it's a big number. Makes me a little nervous as a trap game, but I'm not totally against it.
Okay.
First on my card, in no particular order, is I like Minnesota minus 2.5 at Chicago. So I don't see Chicago winning 3 games in a row.
Okay.
I think Minnesota is the best 1-4 team out there. And
This is true.
I think Chicago has been way overperforming. So those things all colliding, especially with all the Kirk Cousins trade talk, his value is going to need to be as big as possible. Even with Jefferson out, I see Minnesota having no problem in this game.
Okay, I mean, the Jefferson thing kind of worries me because I feel like he's their go-to guy. I know they have TJ Hawkinson, but TJ Hawkinson is their go-to guy within 10 yards. And I don't know, Justin Jefferson, I think he's their key player. I mean, he obviously is. I don't know why I just said I think he is. He definitely is their key player. And I really think that they need him to win games. And I mean, I don't know. That one's up in the air for me. I mean, if you really like that pick, I'm totally fine putting it on there. But, I mean, I don't know. Justin Jefferson is just too good.
Well, I like all my picks, so. Okay, so no agreements on the first two. What else you got?
That's true. Well, I have the Bills minus 14 at home against the Giants. No Daniel Jones. Now, Tyrod Taylor isn't horrible, but they're going to be struggling. And Saquon, not too healthy. I mean, he's probably going to play because they're going to need him to, but I don't see them being too good against the Bills' defense. And Saquon, injury prone, coming off his injury. He's still questionable. We don't know. So, I mean, I don't know what to think. I think the Bills' offense is just, they're way too good for the Giants' horrible defense. I think it's a great pick, even though it's a big spread.
Yeah, it's a big number for me. The Bills got beat up pretty bad. They lost their best linebacker. They're out of corner after London's trip. So for me, if Barkley's coming back in this game with your best linebacker out, I could see the Giants controlling the game enough to cover the 14, even though the Giants are horrible.
Okay.
Not being the other big spread on the board, if I had to take one of the big spreads on the board, I'd probably lean towards the Miami over Carolina.
Okay.
Just for those reasons. But I'm not super against it. I mean, the Bills beat up on bad teams. That's what they do.
I was just about to say that it's Josh Allen's thing to go up and beat up on bad teams.
Yeah. So if I had to take it, I would. That would be the side I'd take. But I am nervous for those reasons.
Okay. Well, I mean, I like the Bills at -14. I think they're gonna win by quite a bit. I think it's gonna be like that Raiders game, 38-10.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be pretty darn close, to be honest.
Okay.
So
All right.
I like that game a lot.
All right. Next on my card, I've got Indy -4 in Jacksonville. So my rationale on this is Jacksonville, we were all over for the last 2 weeks. We hit both those in London. We loved that they were basically living in London. Mm-hmm. Now they're traveling back. It's a big travel. You were gone out of the country for a long time. You've got the Colts who are running Minshew. Yeah. They've got a whole week to prepare with Minshew. If they design the offense around him rather than him just coming in and kind of saving the day under the Richardson offense, I think Minshew comes out and takes care of business against Jacksonville. Because even though they won for us, I don't think they played that great. I think they played okay. I think the other teams just didn't handle the travel well.
Yeah, I mean, I actually had Jacksonville in that game on my board. The Colts with no Anthony Richardson makes me nervous. And freaking Jacksonville, man, I mean, they played great. Now, I didn't put into perspective that they are coming back from London after 2 weeks, so it's a big travel. But Jacksonville just looked a little too good against the Bills. And Minshew and the Colts, I mean, it's a divisional game, so it's going to be close. We know that. But I don't know. I mean, I think Jacksonville is the better team, and I think that they're going to come out with the win. Okay. Especially since it's in Jacksonville. If it was in Indy, I'd actually probably put it the other way. But since it's in Jacksonville, I like that more.
Okay. Still no agreement. What else you got?
I have the Eagles -7 against the Jets, and it's in New York. Look, the Jets got lucky at the end with that Russell Wilson fumble, and they beat the Broncos by barely. I mean, I think the Broncos probably should have won that game. Now Russell Wilson, we don't know what's going to go on in the future with him in the Broncos. He's not been playing too good, but the Jets, they're struggling, and I know that Zach Wilson, he had that good game against the Chiefs, but I don't think that he's just there yet, and the Eagles' defense is way too good for this Jets offense. And the Jets' defense, I think, has been struggling as of recently. And the Eagles are not a good team to go up against if you want to boost your defense's confidence, in my opinion.
I get that. I'm actually the other way on this one. I like the Jets, which is a little crazy because I think Zach Wilson's terrible. And I've been all over the Eagles for most of these games. I put this, very similar to the Eagles-Patriots game. I think that the Patriots did what they needed to do to stay in the game against the Eagles. And I think the Eagles are right now only doing enough to what they need to do to win the game. I think they're acting like the Lakers in the past where they would just do enough to make the playoffs, stay healthy. So for me, I see this as a total backdoor cover with the Jets. I think that the Eagles are going to try to stay in the 7 to 10 range. They're going to pull back in the second half, try to run as much clock as possible. And I think the Jets are going to not win the game, but definitely cover the 7.
Okay. I mean, two totally different opinions on the game. And this is not looking too good.
No, we can't agree on anything.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah.
That's okay. All right, so I guess I kind of gave you one of my picks off of your picks, but my next is a Monday night game. I like Dallas -2 against the Chargers. I think that Dallas is going to have a lot to prove after Sunday. A lot of them were talking about being humble. They had no idea that the Niners were so good. We knew the Niners were that good, and we're going to beat them. They're one of our picks. But I do think that Dallas comes out and takes it out on the Chargers, who are famous for losing close games.
I mean, I was debating on that, actually. I was going to put it on there, but I don't know Eckler possibly coming back, but then Mike Williams is out, so I think that they can really double team Keenan Allen, which is going to put a lot of pressure on the rookie Quentin Johnson, and then a lot on Joshua Palmer, who are two good wide receivers, but you can't put all your passing game on those two guys, Yeah. And so I actually do like the Cowboys in that game, and I actually think that this is where they're going to activate their passing game. It's been very silent all year. not a lot of CD Lamb. I think they're going to try and start getting Brandon Cooks incorporated in there. So I think this is where the passing game gets activated against a Chargers weak secondary.
Yeah, I mean, look what the Vikings did against the Chargers, who is not a great team, and they were able to just pick apart the Chargers defense. I think that while Dallas's offense isn't that great, I think they will put up points against the Chargers. But I do think the key analysis for me in this game is I think that Dallas's defense is going to get some picks in this game, and that's what's going to change the tide of this game.
I actually like that too. I think Micah Parsons is just going to be out for revenge. He's going to tear up Justin Herbert in the backfield, just kill him. And I think that the Cowboys secondary is a little, pissed off because everyone's been saying bad stuff about them, especially since Trayvon Diggs was out. And I think that they're going to be out for some blood, and they're going to try and pick off Justin Herbert. And I think Justin Herbert's going to have a bad day. So I think that that's one that we can finally agree on.
Well, unfortunately, it's a Monday night game that we're agreeing on, and I hate doing that, but what are you going to do? We finally agree on a game.
I know.
All right, what else you got?
I was tossing it up between these two, but I like Houston +1 over New Orleans.
You're such a Houston fanboy. Every week, Houston.
Okay, well, I mean, they've been doing pretty good.
Yep.
And CJ Stroud's playing great. The last game was really close, and Falcons came down with a great drive at the end to seal the deal. But Houston is playing good football, and I think the only thing that the Saints have going for them right now is Alvin Kamara. So Houston, with their defense getting better and better progressively as the weeks go on, and same with their offense. And I think the Saints' defense haven't been playing as good as they were in week 1 and 2.
Unless you're playing the Patriots.
This is true. This is true.
Score.
But I like Houston +1. I think after their loss against the Falcons, they're going to be a little salty.
Yep.
They're going to go out there and just try and activate the pass game. Tank Dell, he's questionable, we don't know. But then they have Nico Collins and Robert Woods, who are still really good receivers, and Dameon Pierce, a good running back.
Okay, well, I'm no fan of the Saints this year, so I'm not against that pick, and I'm going to be willing to concede that pick to get one of mine in.
Okay, I like it.
All right. So I hate it. I like a London game again.
Oh, boy.
I like Tennessee is considered the home team, I think, but whatever, they're in London. Baltimore against Tennessee, I like Tennessee +3.5. So the reason I can guarantee a win on this game is because I never liked Tennessee.
This is true. You hate Tennessee, and so do I. I hate Tennessee also.
So I don't know. For me, I think that Derrick Henry's going to control this game. Baltimore is way overrated. I don't think they're clicking. I know they're going back to like their old whatever, just let Lamar run around and we'll figure it out later rather than having their scheme. But I think that Derrick Henry's going to be able to run the ball up the middle, control the clock. They're going to make fewer mistakes. I don't like that Tennessee's traveling later in the week and that Baltimore is already there.
Okay.
But at the same time, I see this being a 3-point game, and I'll take the 3.5 points.
So it's funny you bring up Derrick Henry because if you look at all the stats from last game, Spears is starting to take over as the RB1 role in Tennessee's offense, and Derrick Henry's kind of falling off.
Yeah.
And you can see it in all the stats, rushing stats. I mean, besides passing touchdowns, what the heck is Derrick Henry is the most efficient quarterback in the red zone.
Yeah.
But Spears is taking over, and I think when Derrick Henry gets his opportunity, he's gonna put all his drive into killing Baltimore's defense. Man, I can't talk.
Yes, okay.
So
well, plus they call him King Henry, and it's in London, so that's got to be
This is true.
That's got to be a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, look, Derrick Henry, I think he doesn't want to receive any hate. He's a great running back, and so I think he's just gonna stomp all over this Baltimore defense when he gets the chance.
All right, so we agree on that.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to go against me. I'm relieved.
Well, I mean, I was thinking about it, but now that you bring up Derrick Henry, I kind of like it now. So I think Tennessee is the one we might be able to slide in there.
All right, what else you got?
So for my last pick, it's a little shaky. It's a divisional game, can go either way, but I like Arizona +7 against the Rams.
Okay, I am the opposite way on that one.
Okay.
We moved Connor out. I feel like they're going to be a little deflated. They've already sort of just barely hung in games, except for against Cincinnati. But I just think that the Rams are overperforming. I think they're going to continue to overperform a little bit. And I think the Cardinals were overperforming, and I think they've already started their downslide, especially with the injury.
Okay.
That would be my only thing in this game.
I mean, I don't know how to pronounce his last name because it's insane, but the Cardinals' backup running back took over James Conner's role really nicely last game, and when he had the opportunity, he put it to the Bengals defense, but obviously not enough to come back. But honestly, now that you brought up just you talking about the Rams right there, kinda.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love to get 7 points, and I don't want to lay 7 points with the Rams.
Yeah.
So I'm not super against it either way. I don't even have it on my board. My lean was Rams, so I'm open to it.
Okay.
For my last pick, I have Atlanta at home against Washington. For me, the analysis on this game would be, I think that Washington is really starting to hit a rut. We were all over them on that Chicago game, unfortunately. Yeah. They're already talking about, coach getting fired. Bieniemy was like, it's like, oh, he's a gift, and like now nothing seems to be working. Mm-hmm. Atlanta is starting to kind of show an upswing. I know we've been against him in London, but that was a strategic play on that. Ritter's never lost at home. I think since high school. Yeah. So all those things going together, I really don't mind laying the 2.5.
No, honestly, I actually really like that pick. Falcons looked great last week against Houston, and I was rooting for Houston.
Houston fanboy.
But I do like the Falcons, and I don't like to go against them. Falcons are a great team, in my opinion. They just need to. I know I've said otherwise in the past, but that's just because I wanted to go against the Falcons for just certain reasons. But in the end, I think the Falcons have a good team, great running back room. Desmond Ridder looks like he's starting to click. That last drive, like I said earlier in the show, was great. He just didn't miss. Bijan played great. Bijan's insane. If you watch his catches, it's crazy. But like you said, Desmond Ridder at home, hasn't lost since high school. I like the Falcons.
All right, awesome. So we agree on 3.
Yeah.
I think we like Tennessee +3. We like Atlanta -2.5, and we like Dallas -2.
Yep.
Okay, so how are we feeling these other 2 men? I mean, you got to have one you love, and I got to have one I love, and we can do it that way.
This is true. I really like the 49ers pick, and I know it wasn't like your favorite.
Yeah, my concern with that is it's going to come out at 7.5 on the card for Circa, but fight me, argue. Let's see it. No, what is it at now? 6.5.
It's at
opened at 5.
It opened at 5.
Yeah.
So that probably means that Deshaun Watson might not be.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a mystery. I don't care.
Game time decision, most likely.
I'm not a huge Watson fan by any means, so I don't care. I just don't like not knowing.
Yeah.
Either quarterback's gonna be similar to me. My concern, my whole analysis is on the Niners. If this is a step back game and it's a travel, if they don't perform, they go out and they put up, 15 points.
Yeah.
Something like that. Do I think that's going to happen? Probably not. I think that's going to be the analysis for everybody, and the Niners go out there and they do what they've been doing and they just destroy another team. Yeah. So I'm not going to fight you too hard on that one.
Okay, this Niners team looks way too good, and especially going up against the beat-up Cleveland offense with the Niners type of defense, I can see it being, like you said, a 15-0 game.
Yeah.
I don't see Cleveland being able to do too much on offense. No Nick Chubb, possibly no Deshaun Watson.
And their defense was completely exposed against Baltimore.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, we're okay on this game, even though Watson's not playing.
For sure.
Because the defense will be in there. It's like, oh, they took the day off.
Yeah.
So
it was bad. So.
Okay. Well, so we need one more.
Yeah.
So I'm harboring my other 2, which would be Minnesota -2.5 or Indy +4.5 against Jacksonville. So I can make arguments for both. I don't want to be disappointed by the Vikings again because I've taken them a couple of times.
That Vikings game.
But there's no way Chicago's winning 3 in a row. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think even though they're both subpar teams, I think the Vikings could easily be 3-2.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. It's just if the Vikings are going to win this game, which me personally, I don't think they are, if they're going to, it's going to be by a point.
Okay. I mean, they shut down the Chiefs last week. I mean, we covered, but they totally shut the Chiefs down defensively.
I think that the Chiefs waited till the fourth quarter and they slowed down because they knew Travis Kelce wasn't at his best. So they wanted to just get that 1 to 2 touchdowns in, and then I think they let it off the gas. And I think that, I mean, I don't know if you saw that, but Patrick Mahomes was starting to throw more short passes. You know, they started to actually get more people in the mix. Like Justin Ross went in, which is my favorite Chiefs receiver. He's the best. He should be put in more. Coach Reed, if you see this, put in Justin Ross. So, yeah, I mean, I think he's great. You know, they really try to get other people incorporated. They're really putting Isaiah Pacheco, you know, they're giving him the ball a lot, and he's playing great. So, man, the Vikings, I feel like every time we like them, they do us dirty, but when we don't like them, they seem to win. So,
okay. Well, the other one is Indy +4 at Jacksonville. Playing the London travel thing. Jacksonville's not going to rip off 3 in a row after their 2 in London. In my opinion, I'm a Minshew fanboy over Richardson. So I think the offense is going to be clicking out there. I think that Jacksonville is going to be out of their sync, out of their routine. They're going to stumble a little bit because they're already, I know you think they're good. I think they're a subpar team.
Really?
You know? Yeah, I do. I haven't seen anything. I mean, other than Ridley, I haven't seen anything that's impressive at that team at all. So
Okay.
I don't see him putting up a lot of points. So I like to get 4.5, but
I mean, Christian Kirk, he's going nuts. Travis Etienne, he's going nuts.
against an exhausted Bills team that traveled wrong. I mean, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, they played just enough to win the game in Atlanta. I mean, against Atlanta in London.
Yeah.
They weren't great. It was like, oh, okay, they won the game. And anything before that was just like god awful. So, I don't know. I mean, they're okay. They're an average team, maybe.
Yeah, here was my thing last week why I like Jacksonville, and it's because I said to myself, if Jacksonville wins this game, this is where they catch their stride. And I think they're going to continue with that stride moving forward. And they beat the Bills. And so I think that this is where Jacksonville's going to catch their stride. And I think that they're going to want to go up 2 on the Colts in the division just in case at the end of the year, if the Colts really start to play good, which they haven't been playing horrible, that if it's close, Jacksonville knows that they have the 2 games that they beat the Colts in. And I think this is where Jacksonville catches their stride. So
Okay, well, I'm willing to put Houston in as our last pick. But
what about the Bills?
yeah, I don't want to take it. It's just I think it's like it seems like such a trap game of trap games. Like to be laying 14 points with the Bills right
Okay.
now. I mean, they're so injured. I know that the Giants are just horrible. They are. But you know how you get that like backup quarterback first game bump, which is also why I like Indy. You know, first full game, practice week, you know, you get that like bump if Barkley plays. I don't know. I could easily see this game staying within 10 points.
Okay.
So 14 just seems too much for me. I'd rather take a risk on the Texans because it's only a 1-point spread. Saints, I think, are overperforming.
Yeah, I mean, this is tough. I like Houston. You like Indy. We can go with Indy +4.
You sure? I don't mind taking Houston.
No, we can do it. I think we'll go with Indy +4, and I'll just have Houston from I Told You Tuesday.
Well, I'd rather win in the Circa. So, I mean, if you like Houston, I'm not against it, and you seem to be against Indy. So, I'd rather go with something that I'm okay with and that you like,
Okay.
rather than something I like and you don't like at all.
Yeah,
You know? So,
I don't know. Jacksonville, I just think they're going to catch their stride here, and Houston.
no, I memean, Indy's going to cover for sure, and Minnesota is going to blow out Chicago. So I'm gonna have great Told You Tuesdays, but I think that Houston could totally win.
I mean,
against the Saints.
if you're really confident on these two,
No. Just because they're the first ones on my board doesn't mean anything.
that you say the opposite every week. All right, so Houston +1.
Okay, so what do we got?
Okay, so we have Houston +1. We have the 49ers -6.5. We have Dallas -2. And do you want to say the other two?
Tennessee +3.5.
Yep.
And Atlanta -2.5.
There we go.
All right. So that's our 5 picks for the Circa.
Yep.
Now we got to give them a parlay.
Alrighty. What do you want to hit them with?
All right. So in the past, it's interesting because we're doing so good on our parlays of the week, right? I mean, we're 3 out of 5 weeks we've hit parlays, and these are 3-teamers. One of them was a 2-teamer, so that's really hard to do. Profit, I went over it on our Instagram. If you were betting $100 a week and you bet every one of our parlays of the week, you'd be up $1,250, right? Pretty good. So we haven't been giving them just picks from our Circa. We've been just doing a parlay of the week, like things we liked out there. So I think we keep that trend alive.
No, let's do it.
Why don't you give me your favorite? I'll give him my favorite, and then we'll do one off our card.
So for my pick, you talked me into it, and what you said is really good. I like the Rams -7 for our parlay of the week. You talked me into it. The Cardinals, now that I'm thinking about it, they're probably going to end up going on that downtrend, and I don't think the Rams want to lose to the Cardinals since it's a divisional game. And so I actually think the Rams will come out there. You know, Cooper Kupp is back, Puka Nacua, 2 great receivers, probably one of the best in the league. So let's put the Rams -7 on there.
Okay. And mine's going to be Cousins, baby, -2.5 against Chicago.
All right.
And what do you want to give them off the board? We got our Dallas, we got our Tennessee, we got Atlanta.
Let's do Dallas.
Want to throw Dallas
-2.
-2, that way they get a Monday night game?
Yeah.
All right, you want to rip them off?
Okay, so we have the Rams -7, Minnesota -2.5, and the Monday night game, Dallas -2.
Boom. I like that. It's a good parlay.
It is. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching the show. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that post notification bell. Bing! And make sure to go check out our Instagram, link in the bio. We have Told You Tuesdays, Friday finals, just fun little posts that we like to do here and there. And make sure to leave some comments because we love to hear what you guys think of the show, your guys' bets, and just things that you just want to talk to us about.
Yeah, and you can follow us at Pick6 is our handle for the Circa Millions Contest, so you can see where we currently stand. And yeah, have fun burning your books this weekend.